Early results from Pfizer's vaccine study on teenagers are very promising. The numbers just released as a local teenager reflects on his experience in the trial.
A local business leader gets 15 years in prison for her role in a massive Ponzi scheme. The actions that prosecutors say could see her sentence reduced.
And he was just named San Diego County's Youth of the Year. How he's setting a positively San Diego example for his peers.
ABC 10 News at 6 starts
because
now.
If it's 100% effective, then a lot more likely that people will be able to go back to school soon.
Pfizer's vaccine may be one of the most effective tools in getting students back into the classroom. The company just released new results from a clinical study on teenagers today. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Our ABC 10 News reporter Michael Chin has those results and spoke with that local teenager who participated.
This is a photo of then 15-year-old Kyle Sullivan and his mom in December before he got his first dose while participating in a Pfizer COVID vaccine study for teens ages 12 to 15.
A bit of a stomach ache, headache, and a bit of a fever.
Sullivan suffered a day of side effects after each of the doses. The study was recently unblinded, and he learned he did in fact receive the vaccine. The results of the study.
Yeah, that's really amazing.
Released Wednesday, Pfizer says in a trial of more than 2,200 participants, the vaccine's efficacy was 100%, and it was well tolerated in the teens.
I definitely hope that'll help stuff return back to normal, because if it's 100% effective, then a lot more likely that people will be able to go back to school soon.
Experts say while the 100% efficacy may dip with a larger sample size, the results are impressive.
Given the level of virus neutralizing antibodies that we're seeing in adolescents, it's going to be a pretty damn good vaccine. I think there is some urgency to try to do this by the fall. And so I think over the summer, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing adolescents get vaccinated.
Back in Forest Ranch,
Encouraging everyone I know to get it.
Sullivan, a sophomore at Del Norte High, says with the results, he believes his friends will likely want the vaccine. Right now, he's on a hybrid learning program and hoping for a full return to in-person learning.
I'm looking forward to it a lot. I'll be able to see my friends consistently. I'll be able to see my teachers more, get a lot more help with work. I think it'll be a lot better.
Michael Chen, ABC 10 News.
Pfizer says it will submit the data to the FDA for emergency use of the vaccine as soon as possible. In the meantime, both Pfizer and Moderna have vaccine studies underway involving children as young as 6 months old.
Starting tomorrow, all San Diegans ages 50 and up will be able to get vaccinated. Everyone 16 and older will become eligible in 2 weeks on April 15th. According to our latest ABC 10 News Union Tribune poll, 40% of San Diego County residents say they've received at least one dose of the vaccine. 60% have not. Of those, more than 60% are planning to get it. About a quarter of people surveyed say they don't plan to get the vaccine. And there were nearly 300 new COVID cases reported locally today, and that pushes our total since the pandemic began to pass 270,000. The county didn't update any other COVID numbers today in observance of the Cesar Chavez Day.
People headed to the beach today with spring doing a best to copy summer. This is what it looked like earlier today in Mission Beach. We're also experiencing those Santa Ana winds, which don't happen very often in March. The National Weather Service did confirm the last Santa Ana during this time of year was about 2 years ago. And we're joined now by our ABC 10 News weather anchor, Jennifer Dela Cruz, tracking those hot conditions. Jen.
Hey, Steve, very hot out there. Broke several records throughout the county for today, and it's still going to be warm for tomorrow, so no relief in sight just yet. It's not until we get into the weekend that it's going to feel better out there, but overall, it has been a gorgeous day, and lots of people hanging out right now in Cardiff. You can see those Santa Anas blowing in the trees there, and lots of sunshine. So we did have record-breaking temperatures in San Diego and Chula Vista with a high of 88. 89 degrees breaking the record in Vista. El Cajon, Poway, and Santee all hit at least 90 degrees for today. We are way warmer right now than we were at this time yesterday by about 20 degrees at the coast. A little bit less than that for the inland valleys, but overall very warm. We're still in the 80s for El Cajon and Chula Vista, Kearney Mesa, Poway, 76 in Ramona, and 73 right now in La Jolla. So we do still have those Santa Anas right now gusting in Escondido, Poway, Ramona, Julian, and Alpine up to about 24 miles per hour. They are decreasing those, so we're going to see some relief from that as we head into the evening. But the presence of those winds is still going to bump up our temperatures for tomorrow. pretty much anywhere you are in San Diego County right now. Very warm temperatures, clear skies though, and lots of sunshine. We will see very similar conditions for tomorrow. I'm breaking down where we're going to see some relief and the 70s returning to the coast coming up in your 7-day forecast.
All right, Jen, thank you. And you can track details of the forecast with the ABC 10 News app. It is free in the App Store.
Local business leader Gina Kane was sentenced to 15 years in prison today for her role in a $400 million Ponzi scheme. ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer Kastner has the reaction from prosecutors who said her sham investment scheme hurt hundreds of people.
Prominent San Diego businesswoman Gina Kane was seen walking into the downtown federal courthouse Wednesday, where she was handed her sentence for her involvement in a reportedly elaborate and massive operation to defraud investors.
Today, Gina Kane was sentenced to 15 years in prison for her role in orchestrating the largest Ponzi scheme in the history of this district. Nearly 500 victims poured over $350 million into Kane's sham investment scheme.
The 57-year-old restaurateur and real estate mogul was accused of taking millions from investors and telling them that the money would be used to support loans for people seeking California liquor licenses. But prosecutors said that wasn't the case.
Ms. Kane did not use the money to finance liquor license transactions, as she told investors. Rather, she used tens of millions of dollars to line her own pockets and to support her failing patio restaurants and other retail businesses.
Investigators said that she and her co-conspirators kept the operation going by fabricating documents, forging signatures, and spreading lies through fake email accounts. Last week, Crispin Torres, the former CFO of one of her companies, was sentenced to 4 years in prison for reportedly using investor funds to prop up Kane's other businesses. Prosecutors said Wednesday that the judge gave her a longer sentence than they recommended, but her sentence could potentially be reduced if she continues to provide information leading to the charges of other individuals in the case.
We're not prepared to discuss the details of our ongoing investigation. We do expect more things to happen. This investigation continues, and there's lots of activity in the investigation.
Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
Eyewitness testimony continued today in the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. One witness, a cashier at a nearby store who interacted with George Floyd just moments before his deadly encounter with police. He said that Floyd paid for cigarettes with a counterfeit $20 bill. Well, that led to police getting called. When officers eventually detained Floyd, the cashier heard a commotion and went outside.
George was motionless, limp, and Chauvin seemed he was in a resting state.
What was going through your mind during that time period?
Disbelief and guilt.
Okay. Why guilt?
If I would have just not taken the bill, this could have been avoided.
Defense attorneys focused on the cashier's testimony that he believed Floyd was under the influence of drugs at the time.
A man was shot and killed last night after police say he was trying to break into a home in Mount Hope. It happened about 9 o'clock. Police say a 62-year-old man came home and found 2 men waiting for him. One of them had a gun. Police say the homeowner managed to get a hold of that gun and shot one of the men who tried to rush him. That intruder was killed. The other ran off. Police are still looking for him. You can call San Diego Police or Crime Stoppers with any information. They were all the rage a few years ago, and now dockless scooters are returning to San Diego streets. Our partners at KPBS report many companies removed their scooters when the pandemic began, and now 6 different companies are authorized to operate in the city. They're mostly placing their scooters around downtown, Hillcrest, and Pacific Beach. Advocates for low-income communities say they should benefit from the devices as well.
And they really provide communities like City Heights, Southeast, other communities like that, convenient access to everyday destinations. And so, but also that comes into safety as well. You know, like bikes, scooters should be in protected bike lanes, spaces where people feel comfortable.
The City Council passed scooter regulations almost 2 years ago. It plans to reevaluate their effectiveness later this year.